changes to the starting lineup, and at least early on, it appeared like you shortened the rotation. What was the emphasis today?
Yeah, I thought that we needed to. Personally, I just thought we needed to shorten the rotation. Jeff, I thought that was what we needed to do, and I thought it was the best thing for our team. And for me, it's hard to play 10, 11 guys. And now, Tuesday, obviously we got our butts kicked, and I was trying to find anybody to help us at that time. But it's just for me personally and for our team, I felt the best thing, Jeff, was to shorten the rotation. And and so for tonight, I felt that that's what we need to do. I inserted Chris in the starting lineup. I moved, with our guards are all interchangeable, and we did. I thought there were some good things. I think we attacked the paint. We had 22 assists on 31 made field goals, which was good, and that was a big thing that we wanted to get to that second, third side and attack the paint. So we're still a work in progress. We got to trust the process. We got to continue to get better, but I think for our team, the best thing is probably to shorten the rotation. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to go deeper, Jeff, because there could be a game where it calls for it. But I think for everybody right now, kind of shorten it up.
Josh, you talked about taking more control of the offense,
Yep.
getting the ball inside. Austin Nicholls has a big game. Are you satisfied with what they did offensively, getting the ball inside?
Yeah, and Eli, it wasn't just about getting it inside. I think it was even getting Mike Dixon hit some good threes. It was off the reversal, second, third side. And look, I recognize that, we didn't play Oklahoma State today. And so I recognize that. Obviously I have great respect for Nicholls State, but it was more about us, the process of, okay, these are some of the things I've talked about of course correction, and that's important, the course correction. And these are some things that we needed to correct, and we needed them to be corrected. And so that was one of the areas that needed to be corrected, Eli, is we had to get the ball to the second side, third side. We need to go inside. Austin can score down there. Shaq can score. I mean, Shaq didn't take that many shots, but he was active. And obviously I think Dominique Woodson can do some different things down there. The only reason I didn't play him the first half was when I called him in. I didn't think he sprinted to the bench like I wanted him to the scores table like I wanted him to. But I was also proud of Dom that he didn't react in a way either negatively. He handled it like a man. He knew he didn't sprint like I wanted him to, so I had to put him back down, and he knew he was at fault. And Nick King, he's active. Obviously, he's not a traditional post, but he's active down there. He just got to step up and make those free throws.
How often did you stress to your team this week the importance of staying the course? Your players seem to repeat that theme a lot today.
All the time, Jamie. And look, you the members of the media know. I mean, I've got a lot of great relationships with everyone here, and I mean, nobody likes to be criticized. But personally, I'm the head coach, so I deserve to be criticized after our performance on Thursday. I got no issues with that whatsoever. Got no issues. But I also knew for our guys, because we are very thankful that we do get the coverage that we get and the intensity that the fan base has here, that they could be hearing a lot of things in the city. And it was important for me to continue to tell these guys, you got to stay the course. Got to ignore the noise. We got to stay straight and narrow and trust the process. And I try to tell them, hey, look, we're going to hear different things. And if anything, I want to take as much of the heat or brunt of it as possible. But that being said, obviously in the day and age that we live in with the social media and that the gratefulness that we have of the coverage that we get and the support, that's going to come with the territory. So our guys, I think the thing is you got to stay the course because it was such a long season, or it is such a long season. I mean, we're guaranteed 32 games, and this is 3. I mean, we got 20 more guaranteed left. That includes one in the beginning of the conference tournament. So we have 29 more left. That's a lot. And our job is to continue to trust the process, continue to get better, and continue to improve.
Coach, you said earlier this week that defense was one of the things you need to correct. Your thoughts on the defense tonight?
We got to get a lot better guarding the ball. We got to get a lot better guarding the ball. And, I mean, there were some good things that I liked, the way we had a plus 14 rebound margin. I love that we had 22 assists on 31 made field goals, Grant, but we have to do a much better job of guarding the basketball. And it's just, I think the guys get a little hesitant because of the rules, because they're just, in their mind, they're afraid to, just by a natural tendency, when a guy drives, you just have a natural tendency to put your hand on him, on the ball handler. So it's just something that we got to continue to work on. And I've heard other coaches talk about it, that it's a lot of players, it's just with the freedom of moving thing, it's just going to take a little more time, what they said, through November to probably get used to.
Coach, talk about the play of Nick, consistently. He's been one of the consistent freshmen all year.
Nick's just active. He's just got to step up and make his free throws. And he's a good free throw shooter. I mean, I think he was 80% in high school or something, I mean, when you even, and I guess you haven't been at preps for a while, but I should ask Varlas that. So, but he was about 80% in high school, so he's got to make them. I mean, he works on it every day. It's just, he just got to step make. And I told our staff, we just got to probably just leave him alone, and just, now it's becoming more of a mental thing than a physical, mechanical issue with his shot. It's just more of a mental thing, because he's a good shooter. He's just got to step up and put it in.
You seemed calmer on the sidelines than you typically are. Was it part of the these kids have seen that Michael Dixon was stunned by by the reaction of the fans this week. Was it partly that you figured it's important to be more encouraging in this time of perceived crisis or something? Was that intentional, or am I just making that up?
No, Jeff, I was, I felt that I was on the guys hard, I mean, extremely hard the last 72 hours. And I just didn't feel in the game today that they needed for me to jump down their throats, because, what good is that going to do at this point? I mean, they got to go on the floor, and now we've got to have carryover from practice to the games, which I thought we did a good job. And I know people can say, hey, Coach, well, that's Nicholls State, and there's no disrespect to Nicholls State, because I have great respect for their staff and their team, but I understand it's not Oklahoma State or a team in that caliber. But it's the process. It's the course that I felt that we made some improvements in some different areas. So I just felt with that, because like you said, Jeff, Michael Dixon, he's never seen anything like it in his life. I've had other people come up to me who are new to Memphis, even in our administration, and say they've never seen anything like it. Now, I've been immune to it. This is my 5th year, and this has happened every year to me at some point where, so I've gotten immune to it. But I tried to tell the guys ahead of time what's going to happen. And like a guy like Michael Dixon said, he had no idea. Coach, you warned us, but I didn't fully understand, and he was funny. He said about, here he was at Missouri, and this is nothing against Missouri or anything, obviously. He just said it's just, at this time of the year at Missouri, the front pages are about football. I mean, they're talking about, he was just so fascinated by it, is really what the word was. But I think, Jeff, I needed to be calm, because like I said, the last 72 hours, I was, I grabbed him by, as in terms of just kind of cut the oxygen off, and I think that's what we needed, though.
How happy were you with the defensive intensity they showed?
I thought we did a good job on our press. We forced them into 18 turnovers, but we also they run all that. They run a lot of good shuffle cut offense, and we took them out of that by our press. But we got to guard the ball better. And again, like I said, that's a big thing, and I know maybe it's a hesitant because everyone's concerned about getting a foul, but we're going to have to guard the ball better. Okay, thanks, everybody.